Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Torah, doing Parsha Bechukosai. And we can really do a tremendous amount right now to win this war in Israel. We can all do something that can help out and can bring a lot more merit and help from Hashem to all the soldiers fighting in Rafah right now. And Bezrat Hashem see like finally the rescue of the hostages, especially the little Bibas family against little Kafir, I think it's his brother Ariel, and the whole family. Hopefully their mom and their father are still alive. We can finally see the rescue of some of these hostages. But we're going to see some incredible things that Hashem promised us in this week's Parsha. Let me bring it up here on the screen and we'll take a look. So it's really incredible. What Hashem's promised us here is, he says, Im Bechukosai telechu. If you go in my chukim, meaning if you follow my mitzvos, but even the special mitzvos, the chukim, which are more mystical and we don't even logically understand them. For instance, the classic one is the paraduma, the red cow. We may not understand it logically, but it's one of the 613 mitzvahs. Ve'es mitzvosai, and my mitzvahs. Tishmaru, you're going to guard them. You're going to follow the mitzvahs. V'asisem osam, and you're going to do my mitzvahs. And if Hashem's promising us that the more we learn His Torah, do His mitzvos, He's going to give us these incredible blessings, these brachos, even in the physical world, even in olam hazeh, this world, and then the spiritual world. The spiritual reward in the next world in olam haba is off the charts. But He's just even saying even the blessings just now in the physical world. So we're not going to go through all of them, but I want to focus specifically on the ones that are dealing with this conflict right now and the great blessings that we can draw down. So it says here, Hashem says, V'nesati shalom ba'aretz, and Hashem says, I will give you peace in the land of Israel. And it's incredible because we don't often think of peace as like a blessing from Hashem. We think of it as like a negotiated peace, or, we hear all the time from the other nations, oh, you have to sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices for peace. You never have to make a sacrifice for peace. But we see here that peace is a blessing. Peace is something that's given us. And Rashi says it's weighted against hakol. It's weighted against everything. A person can be living in a huge, beautiful mansion, have beautiful cars, like the top of the line sports cars. I don't even know what they are anymore, like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, whatever the top ones are. Again, beautiful pool in the background, just everything you need or want or desire in the physical world. But without peace, you can't enjoy it. If someone doesn't have shalom bayis, they can't enjoy even the great wealth sometimes that people have in this world. It says, Ushechavtem ve'ein macharid, and you're going to lie down at night, and you're not going to be afraid. You're just going to lie down in peace, and feel relaxed and know that Hashem is protecting us. V'hish baiti chaya ra'a min haaretz. This is an interesting one. And Hashem says, like, I will give the land, like I'll quiet the land from the wild animals. And we see something fascinating in the world. Like, we're not really so afraid of like being attacked by wild animals anymore. And why is that? And I'll show you an incredible thing. Where the Jewish people have established yeshivas and shuls and brought Torah into the different parts of the world, those parts of the world don't have attacks from wild animals. It's very rare. But if you go to the parts of the world where really Torah has not been established, like you go to the Amazon forest in Brazil, or you go to like the Serengeti, where people go on safari in Africa, or I'm forgetting the one, anywhere they go on these survival shows where it's like really like the Everglades, in Florida, just wherever it's not established and people don't live so much. And especially where Torah has not been established, people can still be attacked by very dangerous wild animals out there. But the Torah brings the blessing of protection from these wild animals, and it calms the world down. And then wild animals don't come to the places where Torah is established. And then it says, "V'cherev lo sa'avor be'artzachem," and no sword will cross your land. And this is an interesting one. So even an army attacking another country won't pass through your land. So, for instance, when America was in the first Persian Gulf War, and then when they were in the Iraq War, I believe, and there may still be this, that America had probably some bases set up even in Israel. I know they have American bases all throughout the Middle East, but sometimes, like even like in an allied nation, a foreign army needs to come in to fight someone else. And Hashem is saying, like, even that, like, you won't have. I mean, in the ancient days of the ancient Roman Empire, Rome would fight all the time what they call the Parthian Empire, the Persian Empire, and we still see it today. We still see, Iran rising up, and we see America fighting Iran and Iran fighting Israel. So this blessing is that even so in the ancient world, like Rome would come into Israel on their way to attack Persia, and sometimes there would be these really, vicious anti-Semitic emperors that would kill a lot of Jewish people on their way to kill the Persians. Or we saw the Crusaders on the way, on the way to Eretz Israel, the Crusaders would kill a lot of Jews all throughout Europe. So Hashem gives us this blessing. The more we follow the Torah, we'll have the blessing being protected even from an army coming in to fight another nation. We won't have it. And it says, or daftem es oivechem, and you'll give chase to your enemies. V'naflu lifnechem lecharev, and they will fall before you by the sword. So Hashem is promising us victory in military battles and war, and that the enemies will be they will retreat and they'll be defeated. And then this one is really incredible. So it says, V'radfu mikem chamisha meya, and if just five of your soldiers chase after 100, then the 100 will run away. Umeya mikem revava, and just 100 of your soldiers will chase away 10,000. And another thing that's interesting to note here, it doesn't even necessarily say soldiers. It just says 5 to 100. 5 of the Jewish people can chase off 100 enemies, and then 100 of the Jewish people can chase off 10,000. Yirdafu v'naflu oivechem. And your enemies, the enemies are going to retreat and they're going to fall. Your enemies are going to fall before you, lifnechem, before you, lechareb, by the sword. So we live in this very strange situation right now. The Israeli government, in a sense, is really doing the opposite of what they should be doing. They're trying to draft yeshiva students into the army, and now you're taking away from those learning Torah and building merit. Really, what should be happening is that every soldier in the IDF, when they're not fighting, should be learning Torah so we can build the more and more merit. Because the more Torah we're doing, the more mitzvos we're doing, the greater, Hashem promises will be our military victories, and the greater we'll have, shalom. We'll really have peace. But what's incredible here is the more the Jewish people are unified, the greater the blessing is. So even if just five Israeli soldiers just completely, immersed in Torah, like in the days of Yeshua ben Nun, in the days of Joshua, when Joshua led us, into the 7-year war for the initial conquest of the land of Israel. And it was unheard of that a soldier would even die. It's impossible for a soldier to die, because when Hashem is with us, when this all-powerful, infinite being is fighting with the Jewish people, then nothing can stand against us. Not even the 70 nations of the world can stand against us, because they can't defeat Hashem. They can't defeat this infinite being. We saw it, the Egyptian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, the Persian Empire, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. We've seen it. We've seen it. When we're with Hashem, nothing can defeat us. But what's incredible is the blessing becomes multiplied. So 5 can chase off 100, and then 100 can chase off 10,000. And what can you even imagine? What would 1,000 chase off? The more of us that are learning Torah and doing the mitzvos, the greater the bracha, the greater the blessing, and the greater we will have, finally winning this war against Hamas. And unfortunately, I think this is just the beginning. Hezbollah is just waiting on orders from Iran in the northern border. Iran itself is waiting in Syria with the Syrian army, with the Russian army, and Iran itself attacked, unprecedented, the 300 ballistic missiles. These are the really serious ones, and the drone attack. So B'ezrat Hashem, I mean, we got a big battle ahead of us, but we can do a lot. Every day, the more Jewish people are learning Torah, doing mitzvos, we can bring these brachas, we can bring these blessings from Hashem down here, into the physical world, and we can finally see us defeating the enemies. It's time to stop listening to what the anti-Semites want. It's time to stop listening to those that want to lead the Jewish people astray from Hashem want. It's time for us to start listening to Hashem, the real king, the real melech, the melech haolam, the king of the universe. And B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to see these blessings, and we're going to see great victory of the Jewish people. And then B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to see shalom, real shalom. And that's what the world really, really needs. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.